right, oops, sorry, my camera was switched around here. You are going to be taking the next page in your figurative language packet, and we are going to be cutting that all the way around the outside and gluing the whole thing down in the next available page in our reading composition notebooks. Hyperboles is going to be the title on top of your page. Once you get that written down and your page cut out, the whole back side of it glued into your composition notebook, you can copy down your title in your table of contents. So mine is on page 22. Write down hyperboles and then head back to here. So I'm going to quickly switch over to the slides attached for this lesson so that you can copy down the notes from there. We're only going to be taking notes on this part up here, and then the practice down here is actually going to be resubmitted into a Google form that you are going to share with me when you're done, and you're going to be adding onto these sentences here. Okay, so let me switch over quick. And then continue. So hyperboles are basically like a big exaggeration or a really, really big description that is added into a sentence in a text or a book or a story, and most of the time they're not true. They can't really happen in real life. So the definition of hyperbole is an outrageous exaggeration that emphasizes a point. Hyperboles can be ridiculous and funny. Most of the time they're pretty ridiculous and pretty funny as well. So go ahead and copy that down into your notes in your composition notebook. And then you'll see some examples down below. First one says, you snore louder than a freight train. Well, that really can't happen in real life, but it's an exaggeration to show that they snore really loud. I don't think a person is actually capable of snoring louder than a freight train, but it's just showing that it's really hard to sleep in the same room as them. They snore so loud. The next one, she could have knocked me down with a feather. Well, if you were to take a feather and try to hit someone or knock someone down with it, chances are you wouldn't be able to do that. But it's saying that this person was just not very stable, so weak, she could have knocked her down with a feather. Or maybe the wind was blowing really hard and she wasn't in a good stance and anything could have knocked her down. Okay, so these two examples show that they're a pretty outrageous exaggeration. Can't really happen in real life. But it's just an added description into a sentence to show the reader and give that reader that mental picture of what's actually going on in the sentence. Okay, so attached to this assignment is a Google Forms. You are going to be doing the practice that is down below. First, you will write them down in your composition notebook so you have them written down. You're going to write an example of hyperbole to describe each of the following below. They have an example for you, and they just give you a basic part of a sentence, and you are going to create that exaggeration, that outrageous, ridiculous, funny hyperbole to emphasize that sentence or the subject that's taking place in the sentence. So they have a large dog as an example. And then they added on, when the dog walked down the street, a shadow covered the entire sidewalk, and small children ran for cover. Well, we all know that a dog can't really be that big that that shadow can cover an entire sidewalk and it would make small children run for cover. But it's just showing that this dog was really, really big, and it gives you that mental picture in the reader's mind. So you are going to be creating your own exaggerations or hyperboles for the 6 sentences on here, and then please copy those into the Google Forms that is attached to this assignment on Google Classroom so that I can see what you wrote as well. Okay? Please go back and revisit the slides if you need to, and when you're done, submit the Google form. Thank you.